Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be diving into the world of portable power with Bluetti's Elite 200 V2 and the Charger 1. If you're an RVer or a camping enthusiast like me, and you know the importance of having reliable power on your adventures, whether you're powering up a coffee maker for your morning brew or keeping your devices charged while you enjoy the great outdoors, this powerhouse promises to tackle all of the power challenges without breaking a sweat or breaking the bank. For the last 3 weeks, I've been using the Bluetti around the house and the camper. And some of you have noticed in the camping videos that I've been using it to power my air conditioner, my coffee pot, toaster, crock pot on a recent road trip, and you've been asking questions about it down in the comments. So I thought now would be the perfect time to do a review video on it, show you how I've been using it. This is another day of 90 degrees. I'm gonna run the air conditioner for a while, and I'm gonna run it right off the power station. And I've really been putting it to the test. We're going to go over all of that in a little bit. Let's first talk about some of the specs on this power station. Well, let's get out of the sun and into the camper. So the Elite 200 V2 is an upgrade to Bluetti's popular AC200P model. It has a capacity of 2,073 watt hours. It can output 2,600 watts. And in powerlifting mode, it goes all the way up to 3,900 watts. Here's what that means for me. I plug in my camper and I'm able to charge my house batteries, power my refrigerator, the air conditioner, and the coffee pot all at the same time. Consistently, I'm seeing 2,400 watts being drawn on the power station, and the Elite 200 handles it with no problems. When the air conditioner cycles on and off, it'll go well above 3,000 watts. I've never had any issues at all. As far as how long all of your equipment is going to be able to run, well, totally depends on the power draw and the level of your battery. But I did a test recently where I shut all of the breakers off inside the camper and the only thing I left on was the air conditioner. I wanted to see how long could the air conditioner last on the Elite 200 alone. And here's what I found out. The air conditioner alone draws about 1,100 watts when the compressor is kicked in. As the camper's cooling down, thermostat will shut the compressor off, and I was pulling about 288 watts. So all in all, this little power station was able to power the 12,500 BTU air conditioner in the camper for over 2 hours and 40 minutes. Really impressive power in a very small package. You can see that the inverter inside the Elite 200 is an absolute workhorse. And the good news is, Bluetti didn't stop there. The 12 volt side is just as powerful. We have 4 USB ports and a 12 volt 10 amp port. The USB-Cs are rated at 100 watts each. The USB-As are rated at 15 watts each. I consistently have 4 items plugged in here drawing 160, 170 watts. Altogether, we can have up to 9 items plugged into the Elite 200, providing power to everything simultaneously, making sure that my camping weekends go as smooth as possible. Let's talk about charging this unit. One of the things I really appreciate about this power station is just how small, compact, and portable it is. My old power station, it's actually smaller in output, smaller in capacity, a lot bigger in size. I store the power station underneath the dinette table in the camper. During the winter time, it can get to be 30 below zero, and I'm not in the camper for a couple of days. This is going to be nice, being able to grab this one, bring it inside the house. The old power station kind of was fit in place. This one, much more portable. Let's talk about charging. And the first way is going to be with just plugging it into a 120 volt standard outlet. That or a generator. That's what I usually do at the campgrounds. And the Elite 200 has 3 different modes of charging. First one is going to be the silent mode. That just means that the fans are going to run a little bit slower, so the unit's going to be quieter. Normally, I'm getting about 778 watts of input in the silent mode. Next, we can step up to the standard mode. There, I'm seeing right around 1,330 watts. And next is going to be the turbo boost. I can see as many as 1,620 watts of input in that turbo boost mode. In that mode, we can bring the power station from 0 to 80% in just over an hour. In fact, we can charge it completely in just over 1.4 hours. And we can use solar power to charge up the Elite 200. Bluetti didn't make it a proprietary system. We can use anybody's panels as long as they fall in between that 12 and 60 volts and is less than 1,000 watts. The cable that they provided is just a standard MC4 connector, and then there's 2 XT60s, which means we can hook up multiple panels. Let's plug these guys in and see what it does. They really couldn't have made this any easier. Well, there we are, about 280 watts, and it is incredibly bright out here, which says a lot for being able to still see that screen. And the nice thing is you can charge with the solar panels and 120 volts AC at the same time. Priority is going to go to the solar panels, which means if you have a 1,000-watt solar array, you can plug that in, and then 1,400 watts will come off the AC side, saving you some money that way. One last way to charge, and that's with Bluetti's Charger 1. Let's talk about that. Well, I've never owned a DC to DC charger before. I guess I just didn't realize the potential of it or how useful it is. That was until recently after installing the Charger 1. That was on a road trip. I stopped at a parking lot. I was going to make some lunch. I came back in the camper here. It was way too hot. I wanted to run the air conditioner, but that would mean that I'd have to drag out the cables, start up the generator. There's people around, and I didn't want to do that. So I plugged in the Bluetti and used that instead. When I got back in the truck, started driving down the road, the Charger 1 was able to bring the power station back up to 100% by the time I reached my campsite. That was pretty impressive. And the install on this thing is super simple. The cool thing about the Charger 1 is that it's not proprietary to Bluetti equipment. You can use any power station as long as it plugs in and you know your voltage. Because you can make fine-tune adjustments to the Charger 1 in the Bluetti app. The voltage on this is 12 to 60 volts, so I can set that up. If I had a different power station that maybe topped out at 24 volts, well, I can set the 24 volts on the app. Super simple to use and super simple to install. Let me show you that. Everything that was needed for the install came in the package, and I'll show you how I did the install on mine. It was as simple as hooking red to the red positive of the battery and black to the black negative on the battery. I ran the wires under the truck and then just brought them up right inside the camper, mounted the Charger 1 right on the wall. I'll hook up the cable, start the truck, and then you'll see how fast the truck and Charger 1 can charge its power station. So now I'm charging the power station at over 500 watts, which means that if I go for a 4-hour drive, I'll be able to go from 0 to 100% in the power station. And that drive happens almost every time I go out looking for a campsite. Well, there you have it. The Bluetti Elite 200 V2 Charger 1 truly are a game changer for anyone who loves to explore in the great outdoors. Its impressive capacity, rapid charging capabilities, and compact design make it a power station that's a reliable companion for RVers, campers, and off-grid venturers alike. I highly recommend you checking out the Bluetti Elite 200 V2. I'll leave some links down in the description, pin a comment, and leave a discount code for you down there if I can get one. I want to thank Bluetti for sending this out to me so I could do a review on it. It has been an absolute powerhouse. We'll do this again. Until then, be kind, be honest, and we'll see you down the road.